Hi, this is Alan Bondi from Actuate here at the BERT iHub F-Type launch in San Jose. What do you think is the key to sort of the next great app?
I think that the biggest problem that we have is like when we look at the next big app, we try to think of something that everybody else has done. How can we improve what somebody did? There's a Starbucks app, for example. You can actually keep rewards and pay with your app. Now everybody has one. Pizza has one, Dunkin' Donuts has one, everybody has one. That's not the next big app. The next big app is something that your customers don't know they need. So if I have a corporation, if I have a product, if I have a business, and I'm looking for the next big app, that's what I'm looking for. What if my customers don't know that they need, but they will be unable to live without? That's the next big app.
So this is starting to sound a little bit like innovation, futures. How do we know what customers want?
That's a great question. And actually, the easiest answer has always been the same, which is like ask them. But now we have a new tool. Instead of asking them, we can actually monitor the data available out there. We can monitor what they say on Twitter, what they say on Facebook. We can monitor how they behave. We can monitor beacons in retail stores. We can monitor Internet of Things sensors provided data. We can monitor all these things and actually get a much better picture than if we ask them. Because one thing we found out when we ask customers is customers don't always tell the truth. So if you actually look at the data, collect the data, you get a really good idea what customers want. Customers go through the same place every day. That's a great place to actually be, because that's what they're doing. If a customer goes into your competitor store every day at the same time, you know what time you can actually target them with a coupon. It's about capturing the data and understanding the customer, how we can collect that and how we can bring that into the house to make a better job for ourselves.
So it sounds like you're saying, trust the data. We have a lot of data around us. Arguably, we have too much data. Talk a little bit how visualization fits into this, because this is definitely a theme of the event, is how do we visualize data to make good actions from that data. Is that really what it's all about, is making it actionable?
It is, because if you really think about it, the average user of the data, which is the corporate user, they don't know that much about data. They don't know where it comes from. They don't know what it is. They don't know what the numbers mean. But if you have a tool that can actually take all that data and create a visual effect, then you don't need to know anything about the data. You don't need to be a data scientist. You don't need to compute complex formulas and algorithms. You just basically take the visualization and say, it looks like, this is something we want to do more than this other thing. And then you make better decisions based on the data. Like you said, trust the data. Never, ever, ever think that you know more than the data. The data actually tells you what's going on in spite of everything else.
So this seems like tools like we announced today that really takes this power of processing, managing, visualizing this data. This probably sounds like part of the solution, right? To get that in the hands of more people.
The biggest revolution that we've seen in the last few years is in the storage, management, and processing of data. The volume of noise changed, so then the data that we have is much more significant. So the evolutions that we had in processing of the data, that's the power. And then if we put an interface that users can actually use to get some real value, to get some insights out of that, that's the ballgame.
So looking in your crystal ball, and I know we've both worked as analysts, you're still in that arena. Look forward a little bit. In a couple of years, are we going to be talking about big data, or are we going to be talking about something else?
No, we won't talk about big data next year already. It's past. Big data talks about the speed in which we can process it, not about the size and the volume. There's the three traditional V's, right? Volume, variety, and velocity. The only one that matters from those is velocity. It's the only one that we change. Volume and variety has always been there. We change the velocity. So it's about the speed at which you process data. And we call it fast data if you want to, for another 3 or 4 cycles, so we have more marketing dollars invested in it. But the bottom line is data is data is data, and it's what you do with it that counts. That's it.
We'll leave it at that. We're talking fast data with Esteban Kolsky here at the F-Type launch in San Jose.
Thank you.